We've become so obsessed with the person that we're trying to become to the point where we forgot to appreciate the person that we are right now. We see so many people traveling, therefore, we should be traveling. We see people building businesses, meaning we should be doing that. We see all of those things happening at the same time, and it makes us think that we're behind in life. All of those moments that we see on social media by people posting their best moments, their achievements, and we think that that's how their normal Tuesday afternoon is. And it's not. We just compare that to our own life, which is seems so boring compared to that. I already know by now that social media only shows highlights of people's lives, and it's not all sunshines and rainbows all the time. I think we've just become way too hard on ourselves. We want independence, we want to be well traveled, we want businesses, we want money, and somehow achieve all of that before 25. And if you didn't, well, you're behind in life, obviously. Where did all this pressure come from, though? I have to say social media. I'm not gonna say that social media is bad, but if it's used incorrectly, it can do a lot more damage than help. I do believe that social media is an amazing thing to have alongside with AI as long as it's not overused in the wrong ways. Because this can easily become an addiction, and it's one of the worst kind of addictions you could have right now, even worse than drugs. We wake up, we grab the phone, and we start seeing all those people. Everyone is achieving their goals, everyone is have somehow getting everything they've ever wanted, and you see this all before you even had breakfast. Think, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not doing this? Why haven't I done anything, and why am I not achieving everything that I want to achieve? You're comparing your beginning to someone's middle or someone's end of the road. This doesn't make you any less. It just means that you are at the beginning phase. It's always hard to be at the beginning phase. If you've never seen me before, hi, I'm Julia Soneto. I document a lot of my life on here while also trying to help people in their own process because I am going through my own process. I want to follow me along. You can always find my social medias, TikTok and Instagram, and Substack. You've got all of the links in the description. I try to be as transparent as possible on here and document all the things that I'm going through, things that I've learned along my journey while studying neuroscience, psychology, and spirituality. So I combine a little bit of all of them. Everything has become very urgent. Build a brand, be financially free, travel, network, create connections. You need to do that right now. And it's created this whole illusion that we need to act now. It's become very urgent. Probably gonna be like, oh, but you're talking about this, you're talking about self improvement. Yes, I am talking about self improvement, but self development becomes an actual problem when you make it another reason to punish and to hate yourself. It's supposed to come from loving the person you are right now, not hating the person that you didn't become yet. Why do we think that there's a deadline on things that we should achieve by a certain age? Early 20s will always be harsh, will be hard, will be full of stress and chaos because they are the years that you're basically reinventing yourself and discovering who you actually are. Progress is not linear. Always have periods of life where things seem like they're not going your way, they're not happening, things are not happening how you anticipated, or it's just a turn of events that you have never thought that would happen. Plot twist, what do you do now? Just to flow with everything that is happening. Life is not always gonna go only up, 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 up. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna have periods of your life where you're gonna feel lost. You're gonna feel like you're wasting time. You're gonna feel like you're behind in life. And that's okay. That's just a feeling. It's not true. What you're feeling right now is not permanent and it's just a feeling, it's not a fact. Repeat after me. It's just a feeling, it's not a fact. Remember that. Sometimes I need to remember it for myself, so I needed that as well. You can always have periods of your life where you feel like you're slowing down, and actually, they could be the most significant years or months of your whole life because life is trying to teach you something that maybe you haven't realized. Things will not make sense in the moment. It will only make sense once you get over that period and you look back and be like, wow, those things that I've gone through have changed me so much and it has helped me so much in becoming the person that I am right now. And I didn't realize in that moment because sometimes we change without even realizing it. Sometimes we change without even wanting to change. It's just how life progresses. And those wasted periods of your life might have actually been the most significant period you could have gone through without you even realizing it. Now we're not comparing only achievements, we're comparing entire lives. We see someone's career, life, finances, relationship, social life, and we think that person has no problems. Don't see how their life is actually structured, and we don't see their routine. We don't see every single moment of their life. We don't see their breakdowns. We don't see all of those bad moments that that person had to go over in order to become the person that they are right now. Because most of the time, the most successful people are the people that have had to sacrifice so many parts of their life to be able to achieve those specific things. But we don't see that. We basically end up comparing your behind the scenes to someone's highlighted reel. One thing that I've realized, I've gone through this as well. I've been very hard on myself and I still consider myself an overachiever, and I'm always trying to work harder, and I'm trying to fill my schedule up to the point where I just became exhausted. Because guess what? That's what happens when you try to overwork yourself. Newsflash. Sometimes the most progress that we are able to do is when we're actually not doing anything. And you would listen to this and say, that's not true. That's not true. It's that if you look at this from a different perspective, if you don't give yourself the time to rest, you won't be able to give your all at work. You will always be extremely exhausted and you would think that you're moving forward, but you're not. It's just an illusion. Most of the time, you're just pushing yourself harder to work even more, and you're creating the illusion that you're moving faster and you're moving forwards. But at some point, they will catch up to you, and you will probably need to take a long break to actually recover from all of this because you will end up being burned out and you will be forced, your body will actually force you to take a break. You cannot be your final version by the end of the year. You cannot be your final version by the end of the month. That's not possible. You're allowed to keep working on yourself and evolving, to change careers. You're allowed to start over. You're allowed to stop when something is not working out for you and change your whole trajectory of your whole life. You're allowed to change everything about your life tomorrow, and that does not mean that you failed. It just means that you're trying to figure out what's best for you. Everyone now is trying to create a life worth documenting. They think that a normal life, an ordinary life, is not interesting enough to document. We try to create the best selfies, the best photos to reflect our perfect life when our life is not perfect. Your life cannot be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect life. You can make it look perfect for other people, but deep down you know the things that you're going through and you know your life is not perfect. And somehow by doing that, you're just lying to yourself and just being a part of the problem. Obviously, the algorithm is also a big problem in this because when we look at Instagram mostly pushes out posts that reflect this perfect life, good things in our life. When we look at TikTok wants us to be funny. TikTok wants us to be happy all the time, to always have something interesting to say. And most of the time, if you don't agree with the algorithm, your posts won't be pushed out. And this is what I've also seen a lot while traveling. I go on a lot of solo walks. I just enjoy people watching and going on walks in parks, especially because I feel like those are the little parts of the city where there's more nature and I just need that connection with nature. I went to Dumbo a few days ago at the Brooklyn Bridge, and it's obviously a very touristy spot. There's a lot of tourists over there. And I was just sitting on the grass, just looking and journaling. And most of the people that were passing by, they wanted to take those cool pictures under the Brooklyn Bridge and with this nice view of Manhattan. And most of them, this would be so funny to me because I would just see most of them just get there, take the pics, and leave. There was no moment where they weren't on their phones, where they weren't trying to plan something to get the best picture. They were forgetting to actually enjoy the fact that they were there, which is so sad. I've become so focused on creating this perfect, worth documenting life to the point where we forgot to actually enjoy the feeling of living our lives. I have been going through a pretty chaotic and rough period of my life where I would just be like I had those days when I would just open my eyes, wake up and be woken up by literally anxiety. But I'm working on bringing it back to myself because at the end of the day, I don't want to spend my 20s rushing and thinking about who I'm trying to become constantly because I am traveling right now. I am in New York City. I wasn't supposed to be in New York City, but I am in New York City right now. And I definitely want to enjoy my time spent here because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here for. But all that I want to know is that when I'll go back, I want to look at this time that I spent here and feel happy that I've actually enjoyed my time here and not feel sad that I was so stressed about everything that was going on and trying to get somewhere to the point where I did not enjoy my time here. The things I talk about on here, be sure to leave a comment. I do want to hear your stories and I love sharing experiences with people. I love having this kind of community where we share our experiences and we talk about this because we need to help each other more. I feel like social media was supposed to bring us more closer, but it's actually doing the opposite. It's just making ourselves grow further apart from each other because of all of this comparison that's going on. We've all got our own timelines, and just because you haven't achieved something by the age of 25, 26, or the age that you've put yourself the limit of, that doesn't mean that there's no more time to achieve that thing. You still have got a lot of things and you can always start over, try again. Start over and try again.